Today, in a hearing on Capitol Hill, the head of the FBI's cybersecurity unit got grilled by Republican Congressman Matt Gaetz about Hunter's laptop from hell. Here's some of that.
So where is it? The laptop.
Sir, I'm not here to talk about the laptop. I'm here to talk about the FBI cyber program.
You are the assistant director of FBI cyber. I want to know where Hunter Biden's laptop is. Where is it?
Sir, I don't know that answer.
Now, you're telling me right here is that as the assistant director of FBI cyber, you don't know where this is after it was turned over to you 3 years ago.
Yes, sir, that's an accurate statement.
I mean, I would think that if the president's son, who does international business deals, referencing the now president with the Chinese, with Ukrainians, I mean, have you assessed whether or not the Hunter Biden laptop gives Russia the ability to harm our country?
Sir, again, we can do this back and forth for the next couple of minutes. I don't have any information about the Hunter Biden laptop.
All right, folks. So let's review this. The FBI's cyber unit chief has no idea where Hunter's laptop is. He appears not to have been asked if its contents pose a threat to national security, and he can't say if Hunter Biden's laptop poses a threat to the first family's cyber assets. That's the Bidens, by the way. All of that is stunning to the core. And you know what it smells like? It smells like ignorance by Democrat design. So Matt Gaetz did what Matt Gaetz does best. He threw the Democrat-controlled committee for an absolute loop. Watch this.
I seek unanimous consent to enter into the record of this committee the contents of Hunter Biden's laptop, which I'm in possession of.
Well, so Jerry Nadler, you didn't see it there, but he didn't know what to do. So he goes and starts asking staff to be bailed out. What do we do? Well, ultimately, Matt Gaetz succeeded in his request. So now, all those photos of what looks like a sex-crazed drug abuser and all those emails that sure looks like a president's son profiteering from his father's position of power, heck, his father profiteering from that position of power, are now officially in the congressional record. Well, please welcome to the program Republican Congressman from Florida, Matt Gaetz is with us. Matt, that was some showing there. One heck of a hearing.
So the way these hearings work, after they are concluded, about a week occurs for materials to be gathered and bound together, and the committee issues a report based on that particular event or hearing or markup. Now, we are going to take the Hunter Biden laptop, the most suppressed information in the world, the information 51 intelligence officials said was Russian disinformation after, of course, the New York Times said that was baloney. And we are going to put it in that record for everyone to see, to make your own judgments. And this isn't just because I have some personal curiosity in Hunter Biden's activities. It's because Hunter Biden could be a point of vulnerability for our country. The deals, the schemes, the kickbacks. You don't think the Chinese and the Russians and who knows who else could use that to compromise the first family and to get them to act in their interest instead of the American interest? So I'm here for turning all the cards on the table face up, and that's what we're going to do.
I think two things were on display today. One, the issue with Hunter Biden and the problem he poses for national security with his father at the helm, but also the incompetence of the FBI. Let me play one more clip for you. I actually was laughing because I'm an old guy, and I remember 1993, March Madness. Watch this.
Who should we put in that chair to ask questions about this laptop that FBI has had for 3 years?
Sir, I'm not in a position to make a recommendation who should say.
So you don't have it. You don't know who has it. You don't know where it is. You're the assistant director. Earlier you talked about whether or not you were the Grant Hill or the Christian Laettner. It sounds like you're the Chris Webber trying to call a timeout when you don't have one. So who is it? Do you even know who has it? Do you know who we should put in that chair to ask these questions to?
No, sir, I don't know who has it.
Many people don't even remember. Chris Webber not only traveled before he called the timeout, he didn't have. It was an absolute disaster for his basketball team back in 1993. Are you stunned at that man that works for the FBI and his lack of knowledge about all of this?
Well, I don't think it is a lack of knowledge. I think you have an FBI that is willfully complicit in the efforts to try to whitewash the nefarious activities of the Biden crime family. I mean, do you really believe, Grant, that they have had this laptop for 3 years and that the cyber chief of the FBI doesn't know where it is, can't even figure out who to ask? I mean, how are we supposed to trust the FBI to protect all of us from Russian cyber attacks if they can't even get into a laptop that they've had for 3 years? It's just total fiction that they present as a lack of knowledge. But remember when Robert Mueller was before the Judiciary Committee? Every answer was, oh, not my purview. How were the Democrats working with Russians? Not my purview. You're getting the 2022 version of not my purview. But now instead of covering up for Hillary, they're covering up for Hunter.
Yeah, it sure looks like it. And still, the mainstream media refuses to cover any of this. They refuse to cover anything about Hunter Biden's laptop. With that, you've introduced a resolution to strip the 51 members of the intelligence community who declared Hunter Biden's laptop Russian disinformation. 51 longtime intelligence operatives of their security clearances. You think that'll go anywhere, Congressman Gaetz?
It should. And you know what? Put Republicans in the majority, and we'll actually start holding these people accountable. Not like Paul Ryan and Trey Gowdy and those people who just let them off the hook. With the Jim Jordan, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Matt Gaetz approach, we're actually going to move legislation on matters like this. Think about it. 51 people had the imprimatur of credibility and U.S. security based on them holding these clearances, and they lied to you. They lied to the country. They said the Hunter laptop was Russian disinformation. Well, you know what? It wasn't. And we caught them lying, and there has to be a consequence for lying so that this group of so-called experts don't do it to us again.
Yeah. Well, if ever there was a reason to put Republicans back in control, it's to get to the bottom of all of this and hold people accountable. Congressman Matt Gaetz, great work today. I appreciate you coming on. As always, thank you.
Thank you, Grant. We'll stay on the case.